Good afternoon. My name is Ernest Clark. I'm a parishioner with Christ Church Georgetown. I'm married to Mother Tiffany. I've been asked this afternoon to host a conversation that we were hoping to have on Sunday afternoon, but snow has cancelled that. And so now I am here today with Dean Joseph Bain-Doodu, who is the Dean of St. Nicholas Seminary in Ghana. So thank you for coming in, for braving the snow and ice between Virginia Theological Seminary and here. The first question I wanted to ask you was how you handle snow and ice in Ghana.
Unfortunately, we don't have snow in Ghana. It's so hot, humid.
I think we would all love some Ghana weather today.
Well, but I doubt if you would be able to survive for a long time because it's very high sometimes in Ghana, and you would need some air conditioning to cool you down.
Yeah, maybe we could take some ice with us.
Oh, that would be great.
Dean Joseph, could you start by describing for us how you see the state of the church in West Africa, specifically the Anglican Church, but also the church more broadly?
Right, thank you very much. The church in West Africa, I would describe it as a growing and a vibrant church because we are reaching out always to people. We have identified areas where we don't have any Anglican presence, and the aim is to reach out, as Christ himself said, go out into all nations. So the aim of the church in West Africa is to go out, and we are pursuing that one, to go out to make disciples as much as our capacity can enable us. So I wouldn't want to compare the church in West Africa with any other anywhere. But what I will simply say is that I see a growing church. I see a church that has a future, but it needs to do more work to be able to reach out to people because of various obstacles. And one of the obstacles, when we come to it, will be financial obstacles, that which will enable people to go. That which would resource people to go is what is rightly now, I think, preventing the move into reaching out to other areas.
Right. Yeah. So financial limitations are one of the obstacles the church is facing.
That's right.
What are some of the other challenges that you see the church facing now in West Africa?
When you talk of West Africa, we have a bit of misunderstanding between Christians and Muslims in some other parts of West Africa, but not in Ghana.
Okay.
But not in Ghana. And we also see that epidemic, like the COVID and Ebola, wrecked deeply into some parts of West Africa, and it has affected the growth of the churches in these areas.
So two more challenges you identified: the growing presence of Islamic extremism in other parts of West Africa, the expansion of Islamic State, Boko Haram.
That's right.
And then disease, Ebola, and then after Ebola came COVID. How would you identify some of the opportunities that you think the church has now in these years in West Africa?
The opportunities the church has now is that we have a great number of children, who belong to parents who are members of the church. And I think we will have to take children's ministry a serious agenda for us to develop our children, to grow them, and to lead them to Christ. And I think that is an area we must not overlook as a church, because the church, the future of every community, of every society, including the church, depends on the children, the young ones that are growing up. And then when you catch them young, they take hold of it and they grow with it. So I think now the greatest and one of the things that we need to do as church in West Africa is to look at youth ministry, children's ministry. And this is something I must be frank to say that we have overlooked for a very long time.
Okay.
But if we want to grow and become the church we wish to be, then we must focus now on youth ministry and children's ministry.
That was not at all an answer I was expecting. That's
Okay.
fascinating.
Yeah.
What about in your own life? Did the church and the Christian faith capture you while you were young, or was that later in your life?
The very day I was born.
Okay.
The very day I was born. I was born into a Roman Catholic, home, parents. And I grew up in Catholicism. And all my life has been in the church. I've, from my youthful days, loved to be a priest. So it's not something that came about in the course of my life, but
Right.
it's something that began with the very day I was
Yes,
born.
the Lord put you on a path and you just kept walking.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So how did you discern your vocation to the priesthood? What did that look like for you?
It was marvelous because I thought it was a dream fulfilled. Because as a young boy, I followed my parents and my grandparents, particularly because I grew up in the hands of my grandparents. They would go to church and I would follow them. And there was a stage I became a teacher, teaching catechism, the young ones' catechism. And I was an altar boy. I would go for pastoral visits with the priest whenever he came around. And that encouraged me, that inspired me. So I didn't know any other, but the love for the work of God. So discernment was not an issue. Because I thought that was the course God has chosen for me.
Yeah, beautiful. Now then, how did you study for ministry?
In the Roman Catholic Church, where I began, they take the young ones at a very early stage for their high school education. So I received my high school education from the Roman Catholic Seminary, minor seminary, St. Teresa's Minor Seminary. So that is where I began my high school education, and that is where I began my training for ministry as well, because they mold you right from the minor seminary and grow you up and teach you and direct you and lead you to be the kind of priest they would wish the church to have.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So that is how it happened for me.
So as you mentioned now, children's ministry and youth ministry, does some of your own experience inform an approach that you think would be effective within the church now?
I think so. My own experience tells me that if the church should grow and the church should lead society and the community and lead children into living a good and moral life, then we must begin to take them young and begin to teach them young. When they are just finding out what the world is about, then they must know what the church is about too. And I think when we begin it very early in their youthful age, it sticks into them, it stays with them. Of course, some unfortunate event may happen, but I think that widely we will be able to capture a lot of the children for the church if we begin it very early in their lives. I have always advocated and would continue to do so that we must have children, a seminary that will begin with those in the high school, just as I began. So that if even there we have, let me give this example, we have a boys' school in Kekus, Ghana, at the Sada College. This college is purely a boys' school, and we can create a minor seminary within the campus, so that those who choose to train for priests would have their own place within campus. And then they will, I'm not saying that they should have a different program, but that they would have a spiritual director, a rector, who would be able to draw up some programs to imbue in them the spirituality that we want them to have right from the beginning, and guide and direct them whilst they study side by side with their colleagues who are studying for the secular world. And when that happens, I know that not everyone would become a priest, but I'm sure that greater number of them, if even they don't become priests, they will have passion for the church. They will have passion for the work of God, and they will give themselves to God in various different ways in the ministry.
Now, can you tell us, when did your association with St. Nicholas Seminary begin?
It began in 1983. 1983, when I went to St. Nicholas Seminary as a student. And I studied there for 3 years. And I was ordained a priest. And from there, I was posted into the parish, and from one place to another. And I have been in various positions within the church since that time.
So a parish priest, and what other roles have you filled?
I've been a parish priest for a long time, many parishes. And I've also been a chaplain to the bishop before.
Is the bishop in Cape Coast?
Yes, please, bishop in Cape Coast. And have also been the Diocesan Synod Secretary. I think the longest person who has held that position, Diocesan Synod Secretary. I served about 2 bishops in that capacity. And then I became a clerical representative to the Provincial Synod of West Africa. And also was elected a clerical secretary for the province. And I've held many other positions. I've been a chaplain at Adesada College, the school I use as a reference. I've been a chaplain there before, and yes, and have attended many other international conferences. Like I've been to Church of England General Synod as an observer at least on 2 occasions, and have attended almost every provincial synod of West Africa, except a few ones in recent years. I wasn't there.
Now, in the West Africa province, how many dioceses are there?
When we talk of West Africa province, it excludes Nigeria.
Right, which was odd to me, but is it its own province?
Nigeria has its own province. It used to be part of the West Africa I'm describing, but they went away. And then it was left with Ghana, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Guinea, and all those ones. And they came together to form the West Africa. So when I talk of West Africa, province of West Africa, it excludes Nigeria. Nigeria is a province in this.
Right.
So talking about West Africa, the province of West Africa, it's Ghana, all the dioceses in Ghana, Cameroon.
Cameroon?
Yeah.
The other side of Nigeria?
Guinea, Gambia. They are part of the province of West Africa.
Right, but not French-speaking countries, Senegal, Sierra Leone.
The French-speaking country is Guinea.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah. Guinea is a French-speaking country.
Now, and so St. Nicholas Seminary is the seminary for the province.
Exactly so. Exactly so, because officially it is the province, is the seminary for the province, and we have had students coming from all these other dioceses within the province. Because of distance and because of financial challenges, they don't bring students often. They don't bring students often.
Now, when did you begin in your role now as Dean of St. Nicholas Seminary?
I began on the 21st, on the 2021,
Okay.
2021 as the acting dean.
Okay.
And I acted for almost 2 years before I was confirmed
Okay.
with effect from 2023 as the dean of the seminary.
Now, describe for us how you see the role of St. Nicholas Seminary within the province. What's your vision for it? What are you nurturing it to be?
My role as a dean of the seminary and the role of the seminary in the Church of the Province of West Africa, I would say that so the seminary is the powerhouse of the church. It is the heartbeat of the church. And when St. Nicholas is not there, I think that the church suffers. When St. Nicholas is not there, a ministry and mission in the church will be a big challenge, because you cannot just draw people and say, follow me and let's go. You must equip them. You must direct them. They must know what they are going to do. And the place to do this is the seminary. So I think that if the church wants to do ministry, then the church must properly fund the seminary to do its work, because it is an indispensable institution within the church, without which the church will suffer.
Right.
So for me, St. Nicholas is the powerhouse of the church.
Have you observed some attempts to bring people into church leadership apart from education similar to what they would get at St. Nicholas?
We have occasionally heard of bishops ordaining people who have not received any formal training. Once you ordain the person is a priest. But how capable? What is the capacity? And here it's not about being able to say mass at the altar, because the ministry of the priest is not just to say mass.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
It's many and various, and we must build up the capacity of our priests. I always tell my students that not everyone is ordained, is called to be a parish priest, because we have various ministries in the church. And whatever ministry you are called to, you must be equipped, as St. Paul tells us,
exactly,
to equip the saints.
Right.
And equipping the saints will come. We have formal and informal. I agree, but then let us do it intentionally and deliberately to equip people.
Right. Yeah. Have you seen? Without naming names, have you seen negative consequences of poor formation for ministry before appointing leaders?
Many.
Okay.
Many, but I would, for some reason, say that we need to train everyone who wants to go into ministry. Because if we are committed to ministry, we must know that it's not a joke.
Right.
It's not a joke. Our ability to reason, to be compassionate, to be able to assess the environment in which we find ourselves and what is needed by the environment, what we need to do to be able to minister to people is important. Because you must know, as a teacher, you go as a teacher, as a minister, you go there as a teacher, and you must be able to assess your people. What do they need? How do I go about this? It's not just about, I want to do it this way. No, it's not about you. It is about the church. And the church is not about you. The church is about many more people who may not agree with you.
This is beautiful. I love your vision for the role of priest. How is, I won't just say the curriculum, but how is the whole experience of formation at St. Nicholas Seminary designed to prepare someone for that role?
Great. The number one work of the priest is to be prayerful. A priest must be prayerful. And to be prayerful, you might be taught and be soaked into prayer. And so we begin our day with prayer, 5 o'clock, 5:30 from the chapel. And we end the day 9:30 at the chapel. And so we have an order for worship. We have a system for worship. At least we go to the church 3 times a day, and we follow the Benedictine order type of spirituality. That is what we follow at St. Nicholas Seminary. So that we try to encourage you and enable you and guide you, that you yourself in your future ministry will take your prayer life seriously. That is number one. So we are not just there to do academic work, no.
Right.
That one can happen in any other secular institution or university. But once you are a priest, we are preparing you to go and lead other people in worship, in prayer. And so if you are not interested in prayer, how can you lead other people? So that is the reason. And then 2, the academic aspects of training. As I said, we must build your intellectual capacity. Because the ministry is many and various. You may be having a calling to lecture, to teach, even in a secular university. And if you don't have the capacity, so how do we prepare you? The seminary must enable you, prepare you, so that if that is your calling, in future you will take it up and go do further studies, and then find yourself in an area that you can function well as a priest. You may be a chaplain in a secular institution. You may be a chaplain in any of the security services, but then you must be prepared. So we take academic work seriously, and we have 2 types of programs. I must say 3. 3 types of programs. We have diploma or certificate in ministry.
Okay.
That is for those who do not have enough academic qualification.
Okay, so this would what be without high school education?
Some have high school education, but may not have made it brilliantly to qualify for a diploma of it. So we have those ones.
Okay.
And we take them through formation. And I must speak about that, but we have formation process also. Not just going to church, but we meet information groups, and there's a director who is a lecturer who will meet you every week. There's a meeting every week. And then we have diploma, those who will do diploma, and those who will do degree courses. And then, so you choose your level as and when you.
So would that be a Bachelor of Theology?
Bachelor of Theology and Diploma in Theology.
Okay.
Or certificate or diploma in ministry.
Right, excellent. Well, I wish we had about 4 more hours. You mentioned there are 2 more things I'd like to pick up as I think about formation at St. Nicholas Seminary. The first, you talked about the skill of discerning the cultural context. I'm assuming that West Africa itself is culturally very diverse. How do you go about equipping students, future priests, to discern their own local contexts?
That is great. In the lecture hall, we have, as part of our courses, African traditional religion, and we do enculturation in theology, African Christian theology. And these courses guide the students to see their own culture in a Christian context. So African Christianity. It's about African Christianity, and how do you translate what you have learned into your own context?
Exactly.
In your parish, in your preaching. When you are preaching to your people, what informs you so that you can bring your congregation with you in the context of where they are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So we have these courses that enable them. But then also, we allow students that we have a week, at least a week a day in a week, that we allow them to do what the extempore prayer,
Yes, okay.
what we call
Right.
charismatism.
Yes, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we allow them on their own to express and to use local music,
Right.
and some local language in worshiping and in expressing
Right.
their belief in God. So all these things we provide, we make it convenient for them to soak themselves in these practices.
Yeah. And then you mentioned compassion in the role of priest.
That's right.
How do you form that in students?
We have pastoral theology. We teach pastoral theology. And apart from the classroom work, we assign them, we give them pastoral placement. We assign some to the hospitals, some to institutions, learning institutions, and some to churches. And through this practice, when they come back, we assemble them at formation classes, and we let them tell their story. And through their stories, we get to know what, just as Jesus Christ did, sent out the 72, and when they came, they reported. And Jesus told them, for this, you cannot do it this way, but you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
So that is the model we also follow. When we meet in formation classes, you show your experience, and we try to discuss and discern what are the best way you could have done it, and to develop a compassion for your work and for the people you meet, because that is what Jesus Christ came for.
Right. We've moved along in our conversation. We began by talking about the state of the church in West Africa, challenges and opportunities that you see, and then the role of St. Nicholas Seminary in serving the dioceses within the West Africa province. I'm already starting to think of what collaboration might look like. Maybe you haven't discerned this, but I'm collaborating in the sense of I'm learning a lot from you right now. So thank you. It's been very insightful for me. But when you think about collaboration between the province of West Africa and the other provinces, what different forms might that take?
It's interesting that one of my passions since I became dean is to seek collaboration, because I think the church is one. And when we collaborate, we will be able to find our strength and be able to overcome our weaknesses. Because what is a strength here may be a weakness over there. And what is a weakness over here may be a strength there. So seeking collaboration is to make sure that we can share our resources. We can have share resources. At the moment, I have spoken to a number of theological institutions, and I'm ready to take some lectures to teach online.
Okay.
And I think that is sharing. It's one of the means of sharing resources. There are some institutions who have all it takes to teach in the seminary, and I don't have many lecturers. I use adjunct lectures a lot.
Okay.
I use adjunct lectures a lot, and if I can have theological institutions who would collaborate with me and we share resources, not necessarily coming to Ghana, but these days the magic of technology enables us to talk to each other, to discuss and to share resources from whichever angle or from whatever distance you are coming from. So I think that one of the best ways to collaborate or to seek collaboration is how to share resources. Sharing resources, one, human resource. Two, There may be a material resource we don't have because of our particular peculiar situation. And if there are material resources available somewhere, and I've gone around, and there are books some do not need at all.
Right.
And I may need them. So if it is possible to share or to ship them completely for me, but then these days we are told that we must not take a book that has been published for more than a certain number of years, is it 5 years or so? So when you quote and you tell them this, so no, but there is a current one in the system.
Yes.
So really, I do not know. So it's only when I seek, collaboration, then I will be aware of what is going on in other parts of the world, in other parts of the institutions, in the other part of the Anglican Church.
Right.
That will enable us, equip us to march and to march together in the kingdom of God and to make disciples, equip people for discipleship in the church. So I'm in for collaboration. Yeah, I'm in for collaboration.
Joseph, this has been lovely. Really.
Thank you.
Thank you. I had no idea what to expect, but I've been so encouraged by our interaction in this short time.
Yeah.
I pray the Lord will bless you in your role as you lead St. Nicholas Seminary.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.